Colors weave into a spire of... Hello, I'm RVRocks, and welcome to The Little Intricacies, the show where I talk about your favorite pieces of pop culture and all the small details that make them so great. A little while ago, I talked about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and its most recent DLC pack and why that was such a huge deal. However, that's just the tip of the iceberg of stuff I can talk about when it comes to this game. Smash is probably a lifetime favorite series of mine. I love the game, I love everything it does, everything it stands for, and for the most part, I love the community. Some of my favorite memories are times when I was playing Smash with people. It's one of those games that transcends boundaries. Even if your favorite games are stuff like first-person shooters, single-player narratives, or actual fighting games, you probably have played a few rounds of Smash. And while I could talk about the music, the stages, the character designs again, today I will talk about an often overlooked part of Smash Ultimate. The story mode, the World of Light. So for those of you who don't know anything about Smash, haven't played the World of Light, or somehow missed all the memes making use of this effect, here's the scoop. Smash historically doesn't really have original characters, it mostly features characters from other series. However, it has a few characters original to its inception. The quote-unquote final boss of Smash is this guy known as the Master Hand. At the end of every game single player, you always see him. Sometimes he has new moves, sometimes he has a crazy hand with him, sometimes he's on your side, and sometimes he erupts into black powder and turns into 6 different things including a maze, person, wolf, swords, clone, and ball. But the point is, at the end of the Smash Crossroads, this floating right hand will always be there to greet you. He's the big bad of Smash, or at least the closest to a big bad of Smash you'll ever get. Always there to greet you right at the end of your journey. So for that context there for you, let me set the scene. There is now 1 billion of them. All jokes aside, Smash Ultimate Story Mode kinda throws you into the middle of a conflict and tells you to run with it. Every Smash character is there, ready to battle, talking to each other about how they'll need to fight like they've never fought before, and this mysterious monster, eldritch god kind of thing, Galeem, is trying to attack you with an army of Master Hands. It's weird, Smash is weird. So as the player, you're probably thinking, okay, cool, now I need to fight all these Master Hands, and then... yeah, the entire Smash cast just kinda dies. I don't know what it was with 2018 and having its main cast dissolve horrifically, but yes, the story mode of this kid's game begins with all the main characters you've come to love dying to a series of laser beams summoned by an eldritch god. Well, all except for one. Of all the characters to survive the World of Light engulfing the land, Kirby was the last one standing. Not the literal angel killer, or the goddess, or even Nintendo's main man Mario. It was Kirby. But why? Why out of all of the characters in the large lexicon of Super Smash Bros. Did Kirby come out on top alive and unscathed at that? Well, looking at the little guy's origins, I think it's pretty obvious. This is the little intricacies of Smash's simplistic starting point. So there are 3 main reasons as to why Kirby can be considered the most fitting of the entire Smash cast to survive, but frankly, the first 2 are pretty boring, so I'll explain them quicker. The first reason for Kirby to survive is this thing, the Warp Star. Basically, in the Kirby games, he has the ability to teleport really quickly through using the Warp Star, so when the entire universe gets lasered, Kirby can just kinda blink out of existence for a bit. The second reason Kirby is considered fit to survive all this is power levels. This might sound strange, but Kirby is one of the strongest beings to exist in the universe of his games. Just about every final boss in Kirby games is someone threatening to destroy the balance of the universe, or eat the world, or invoke nightmares on the world. Most Kirby bad guys are also eldritch monstrosities like Galeem. Even the creator of Smash and Kirby, Masahiro Sakurai, has stated that same thing, saying that in order to outrun Galeem, they needed to have some form of special power. The only 2 other characters he stated could possibly do this are Bayonetta, who in her series killed God, and Palutena, who is a goddess. Long story short, Kirby is a very powerful being in the lore of his own series. And lastly, creator bias. Okay, that's overstating a little bit. As stated prior, the person who directed Smash Ultimate and created the Smash series as a whole, Masahiro Sakurai, was also the creator of Kirby and directed several games in that series. So while it's possible there was some good old-fashioned nepotism involved in this choice, I think the actual third reason is a much more logical way to approach this question. Kirby, historically, is designed to be simple. Masahiro Sakurai started his life in the video games industry in HAL Laboratory, an independent company that over the years has become strongly associated with Nintendo. At the ripe age of 19, he was tasked with coming up with a video game that anyone could play. And just like that, Kirby was born. And in his first game, Kirby only had a few simple to understand abilities so that anyone, from ninja to grandma, could understand how he worked. Kirby could inhale enemies and spit them back out. No attacks, just inhaling and spitting. This way, every player could understand the core concept. I mean, everyone knows how to inhale and exhale. He could also puff up and fly so that players who weren't comfortable with the physics of something like Super Mario were still able to make their way around levels. Later in his life, Kirby would be given the ability to copy the abilities of his enemies. And while this may sound like it goes against the design philosophy of simplicity, that's technically not true, with enemies often displaying what that ability would look like in a vacuum before Kirby's able to copy that exact move. Even his pink color and blobby aesthetic radiates friendliness. Kirby is designed to be picked up and played by just about anyone. And that design choice is echoed in Smash. Smash already has a pretty simple system of attacks. While most fighting games require you to pull off some weird button combination to pull off a combo, Smash lets you do everything a lot easier. For instance, in Dragon Ball FighterZ, one of my favorite fighting games to come out these past few years, in order to do one of Broly's special moves here, you have to move the left stick in a quarter circle motion, then press the B button immediately afterwards. Which doesn't seem too bad. Then you remember that for all these different buttons, you have different variations of attacks, and different stick motions result in different moves, and it just becomes a whole thing. But for Smash, to pull off a character's special move, you just press the B button and sometimes a direction. But Kirby takes this to a whole new level, being able to teach someone the basics of Super Smash Bros. With his kit alone. Most of the characters in Smash have at least one attack that don't follow the input you give. Mario's forward air sends you down, Captain Falcon's up tilt goes to the side, King K. Rool's up smash can send you both up and down depending on when it hits you, Luigi's down taunt does this. To someone who has never even played this game, what do you think this move does? Or this move? Or this move? Even this move? A lot of moves in Smash don't correlate with their inputs, or sometimes their animations, but Kirby maintains strict rules on his moveset, being designed to cater to new players. Let's say you've never played Smash before, and you're with a buddy who loves the game and he hands you a GameCube controller. You choose Kirby because he's super cute, or you played his Game Boy games, or you saw him on 4Kids, and then you need to figure out how to play. You start with the literal biggest button on the controller, and Kirby throws out a very easily telegraphed punch. Press it a bunch of times, and it does that same punch, but a lot. And then you start moving the control stick while playing. Every one of Kirby's attacks not only go the way you hit them, but send the enemy that way too. This same mentality also applies in the air and with his smash attacks. So you figured out that big green button. But what about those other buttons? Well, that small, vibrant red one looks important, but not as important as the green one does. You press it, and to your surprise, the directional inputs once again correlate to where the buttons are, but each one also teaches you a different thing. The side special lets you know that some attacks can be charged for long periods of time. The up special isn't an attack upwards, but rather an attack that sends you upwards. So now you know that many characters have a move that goes up with that same input. And the down special turns you into a rock, but if you use it in the air, it does massive damage, which teaches you that some moves have different properties depending on the location you use them in. In Smash, an integral part of being able to play is to know how to make your character come back onto the platform without harm. But Kirby has it easy, being able to do 5 mid-air jumps and then his up special, which also sends him a decent amount upwards to recover easily. But this is ignoring probably the most prevalent move. Remember when I was talking about Kirby's iconic abilities, to fly and then inhale and copy enemies? His neutral special, aka when you press this button without doing any directional inputs, is the inhale. And in Smash, when you inhale an enemy and copy them, you get their neutral special to put to use. Basically giving you a charcuterie board of different characters to sample before you try to move on and play as somebody else. So let's review. Not only do all of Kirby's moves have straightforward properties and simple inputs, all of his special moves serve to teach you something about the design of Super Smash Bros., and his neutral special, the Inhale, acts as a way for you to try out new characters without fully committing to learning all their quirks. It's genius! It's no wonder they chose him to be the character you start as in Ultimate. From an in-universe perspective, sure, he's strong and he's got the Warp Star, but from a game design standpoint, He is the character that teaches you the most about how the game works. That, and he also stands to reflect the initial design goal of Kirby and of Sakurai's thoughts on games as a whole. A game should be able to be enjoyed by anyone, should be able to be played by anyone. Ask any Smash player. They'll probably tell you one of their favorite things is the low skill required to get started and the high skill ceiling for all of those who really love the game to keep coming back to. And you know, for a game like Smash that's meant to celebrate all these icons of gaming, I think it's pretty beautiful that it also celebrates all types of gamers. So if you liked what you saw here today, make sure to like, comment who your favorite Smash Bros. Character is, and subscribe. To all you folks who might be thinking I am making these claims without any evidence, I would like to redirect you to Source Gaming. They do a lot of translations of Japanese interviews and just new stuff in general. Especially when it comes to talking about Sakurai, these guys help a lot, cause well, in the Western world, he's a bit of an enigma. We would not know half the information that we know about Sakurai nowadays without these guys. Links in the description. But before you read any of that, I've been RVRocks, and thank you so much for watching. See ya!